just gonna school you all on how to make a line and find the equation, because apparently you all forgot algebra and algebra 2.
I'd say, wait,
Because I'm quite disappointed that you guys all forgot your algebra skills.
Why?
It happens.
No.
It does happen. Because we have to put it into our brains and then blurt it out and then we forget about it. Like if we had like the Unit 1 test again, I'd probably fail it.
Depends if it was multiple choice or not. Okay, no.
That's true. That's valid. No. I still would fail it.
At least Trey's being honest.
It's just how it works.
That is not how learning is supposed to work.
It's because this class is so fast paced. It's like one thing and all you do is write it down and you're on to the next thing.
That's a really good point.
I know I'm not the only class like that.
Yeah.
No, you are.
No, you're not.
Thank you.
Who? Of course.
Contemporary issues.
Okay, yeah. That was bad. But I did that online, so I cheated. I can't cheat in here. I cheated.
Not that she knows it.
It's actually impossible to cheat here.
I make it pretty darn difficult to cheat in here.
Alright, Ken's easy. I didn't cheat. I just got home. I FaceTimed her and then she just gave me the answers. So I could show the screen and she just gave me the answers because it was online.
I thought you were talking about in person, and I was like, literally what?
No. I would have failed in person. What are you doing?
Just finding the equation on the line.
What's the line above 12?
When did we learn that?
Algebra.
Why are you expecting us to remember this? Like,
Yeah,
Why would you not remember how to find the
it
line
was a year ago?
between
does
2
12 come
points?
from?
Is this your pencil, Davis?
Wait, I kind of remember this.
I took
So it goes up by 17, right?
Well, I was going to ask him to
No, it
elaborate.
starts at
How did
17,
you
then
get
it's
minus
Negative
17?
Well, if you're at 19 at 3, and each one it's going up 12. If you go backwards, then it goes down 12. So you do 19 minus 17 minus 17. Or minus 12 minus 12 minus 12.
Explain that.
Yes.
Okay, so
Dumb, Caleb.
Hey,
it's going up by 12 every time, but it starts at negative 17. Why does it start at negative 17?
Because if you're at a GPA of 3 and you're at 19 ACT.
So you're trying to find the zero
Yeah,
GPA?
you're trying to find the 0.
Oh,
Because the
that's
0 is the Y.
I remember that.
19. So he just went backwards in his head, and he said, oh, if I subtract 12 each time,
Smart
I'm going to be down at negative 17.
Miss Whittle, where do you get your pens at?
Usually Target, but look what my hubby got me for my birthday.
Pens.
New pens.
Aww.
I asked for them.
Can I borrow some?
No.
I'm excited. What'd you get in?
I lost all.
Some tool he wanted. I don't know.
What'd you guys do for your B-days?
He coached a soccer game, and I sat there yelling at one of the linesmen because he was.
But
We had good refs last night. It was awesome.
We had really
But
good
you guys
ones.
tied.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. By the way, my prediction
Didn't
was
someone
spot
make a
on.
corner
You,
kick?
you knew?
She said, "What's your prediction for the game?" And I said, "Boys or girls?" And she said, "Boys." And I said, 1-0. It's going to be a lot of defense. I was right on.
How does
I
Marvin
bet anyone could guess
let
that.
someone make a corner kick?
It was
What do you
tough.
mean?
It was because Claire, like, we always have someone front post and someone back post, and then Claire was, like, jumping to head the ball, but then
Block
Mark was
the
going to
damn
the ball at the
ball.
same time,
Just-
and then...
There's really like nothing.
I've
there's not
watched
much you can
3
do
or 4
about it.
soccer
Trey?
games.
Unless
And
you're
every
like-
single time I watch a soccer game, you guys, whoever it is at goalie, just falls over and lets the ball go in because they just.
It's okay.
What?
It went past all of us first, so it's
Right.
hard not to.
Well, I'm just saying. the goalie
Back
just
to
needs
math.
I'll
So,
play goalie and play up.
do it.
as much as I like to pick on you guys that you all forgot how to find the equation of a line,
What is?
your calculator is going to find the best fit line, because I did the exact same line that Davis did, because these 2 points didn't have decimals. And I said, oh, that's easy math, and I don't have to deal with decimals.
That's not why. It was just the first and last point.
Okay, he had a different reason why he chose those 2 points. You could have drawn a line that yesterday in 3rd period, I want to say the kid that came up and did it, he made it go through those 2. Why we choose which points we choose is up to us. So we could each end up with a different equation for the line of best fit. So to make sure we all get the same line of best fit, our calculators do it for us, and they find the best fit line. So that's what we're going to look at today, and how to interpret what that information means. Excuse me. So we're going to get into the notes. Does everybody have a calculator? Anybody need to borrow a calculator before I get too far into this? So, I had to remind a few of you, but what was the form that we used for the equation of the line of best fit?
Yes.
Y equals mx plus b. If you haven't figured it out yet, in math, we like to get you really used to something, and then we go, haha, just kidding, we're going to change it. So instead of y equals mx plus b, we now write it as y hat equals a plus bx. It is the same thing.
So why can't we just write it like the old way?
Because we're not in algebra anymore, we're in statistics.
Why is it not standardized?
That is a really good question, Colton.
What do you say?
I don't know.
Say it again.
So, you heard me say y hat. That is literally how we read that. It's the little caret on top of the y. Notice m, the slope was next to x. So in this new form, b is our slope because it's next to x. And b, what we used to use that letter for was the y-intercept. Now we use a to mean our y-intercept. I know. I'm sorry.
Why?
Just wait till we start calling the mean a new name because, well,
Haven't we already done that?
yeah. What?
Haven't we already done that?
Well, we have two notations for mean. We have x bar and mu, but then we'll actually learn e of x also means mean. Because math. All right.
My head's gonna explode.
Also, we don't call it the line of best fit anymore. We call it a regression line.
Because it doesn't make sense. That's why we didn't change it.
The regression line describes how a response variable, the y, changes as an explanatory variable, your x, changes.
Can you do that instead of drawing?
We often use a regression line to predict y from x, and I do know that's why we put the hat on y.
Predict.
Y hat means it's a predicted y value. It's not actual data. Now, I'm going to rephrase. The question says, what is the slope of the regression line from the warm-up? As much as I loved Davis's equation, I want to all work with the same equation that the calculator gives us. So we're going to show the steps for getting the equation from the calculator, which I actually showed to you yesterday. I just didn't tell you. When we find r, we're finding the equation. So who can remind me? Oh, I suppose I have to make sure that I actually have the, well, I do have the GPA and ACT data in there. If you don't still have it in there, it won't give you the equation. So type it back in. Yes, really quick. 6 GPAs, 6 ACTs. Put them in there. You like my dance move? I ate my Cheez-Its. I was like, I didn't finish them all.
Wait, what do we have to put back
What?
GPA and ACT
in?
data.
The one from the front.
Yeah.
You want one? Do you want me to throw it?
Horrible.
I love
Like up.
I love how she had to as she threw it.
Like,
Toss your other hand.
I don't have enough room.
yes, you do.
But,
See how much easier that was?
I like doing.
Eh.
oh my god.
Oh God. Okay, stop. Let's stop with the Cheez-Its now. Davis can walk up there. You can walk back here. Okay.
Okay.
Everybody got our data in there?
No, hold on.
Oh my goodness.
You want one?
Stat,
Not at all.
second bars, and then we go to varsity 8.
Okay.
I did something wrong.
It is 8, but it's not varsity. So once you have the data in there, stat, go over to calc, number 8, Lynn Reg.
Varsity 8.
I have my data in list 1 and list 2.
So,
Don't worry about frequency or store. So notice that it gave me A and B. And up at the top it tells me y equals a plus bx. The calculator doesn't put the hat on the y. But so I have my A and my B. So let's write our equation down. We got, let's put it off to the side. Y hat, we're going to put the hat even though the calculator doesn't. A is negative 15.1 plus 11.5x.
Why do we have the flip ball? The slope and intersect.
Because math. I don't know. I really don't. Like Colton asked, he said, why isn't it like a standardized thing that we use M and B? And I don't know. I don't know why they flip them.
can
But
we flip it?
Sure, if you want to write 11.5x minus 15.1, I don't care. Just know that when you get it in the calculator, they give the y-intercept first.
Okay.
All right, so what is the slope of the regression line that the calculator gave us? 11.5. We're going to interpret in context. Would you guys all agree with me that slope comes from the change in the y over the change in the x?
Yep.
Would you also agree with me that I could put that 11.5 over a 1?
Don't know.
What's 11 and a half divided by 1? 11 and a half, right? So I didn't change it. I just made it look different. That's so that when I interpret, I know the change in my x is 1. Now, we were looking at GPA versus ACT data. So when I interpret this, I'm going to say it and then I'll write it down. We would say something like, for every increase of 1 GPA point, there is a corresponding increase of 11.5 points on ACT scores. X was my GPA, Y is ACT. They're both positive, so they're both increasing. Again, I'm going to put it down. I'm sure you guys can make it sound much better than me. but something to the effect, like I said, as GPA, my X, increases by 1 point, we would expect ACT scores to increase by 11.5 points. Questions? All right, so the next one is what's the y-intercept? Negative 15.1. Thank you, Dia. Now, I'll be honest. Here's another cuz math. What is a y-intercept? Like, where does this show up on a graph?
Where x is 0.
Where x is 0. So, we're going to use that idea in our interpretation. These interpretations of y-intercepts very rarely make sense. When x is 0, x in this case is GPA. So when a student has a GPA of 0, I would expect their ACT score to be a negative 15.1. We know you can't get negative ACT scores, so like I said, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But based on the definition of a y-intercept, that is how we interpret it. Any questions on that one? So, like I said above, we use our regression lines to make predictions. So we're going to do a couple predictions right now. We're going to predict ACT scores for students with a 3.4 and a 4.4 GPA. I'm going to draw a line so I leave room for myself to show this. I'm going to use the hat on my y to show that it's a predicted y value. Since I'm doing two of them, I'm going to use a subscript. Y hat with the 3.4 subscript lets me know it's the predicted y value when a GPA is 3.4. GPA is my x. So I'm going to put 3.4 in for x and use the calculator to find my predicted ACT score. So 11.5 times 3.4, and then I add a negative 15.1, and we get 24. So the predicted ACT score for a student with a GPA of 3.4 is 24. Questions? You guys find the predicted AC? Yes.
What is written just to the side of the Y?
3.4. It's just a subscript so that I know because I'm doing 2 of them. Aster's going to put the predicted ACT score for this one up there for us and
Working on
their
it.
work.
I think I just need a place for senior night,
No, because you say Jordy and Maggie say come to senior night at 3. It's like this is probably the worst picture of us like
It's so
in history.
funny.
I'm so sad
You
that
guys
day.
were both like sobbing, crying, and I was like,
Thank you. Anybody not get 35.5?
I got it.
Thank you.
She said, did anyone not?
I was reassuring her that I got it.
Nobody cares.
All right,
I
so
feel like this.
when we use the regression line to make a prediction outside the interval of values for our x, that's called extrapolation, and it's often inaccurate. One of the predictions we made is outside the interval of our x's. If we flip back and look, what was the highest GPA we had?
4.0.
What was the lowest?
3.0.
So our regression line works really well to make predictions between a 3-point GPA and a 4-point GPA. If we go below a 3.0 or above a 4.0, it's not a good predictor anymore. It only works within the range of our original data. So the lowest was 3 point, the highest was 4. Anywhere in between those, it's a good predictor. Outside that range, it's not going to be very accurate. I promise there will be questions about extrapolation on chapter 3. Are there any clarifying questions before I move on?
So if extrapolation is inaccurate, then what's the accurate way?
Interpolation. We just don't call it inside, between those original values.
Okay,
We just
good to know.
don't call it that. But when we work outside our original x values, we call it extrapolation. It's not accurate.
Awesome.
Other questions? All right.
It's very quiet today.
It's kind of nice.
It's a Tuesday. Tuesdays are the worst day of the week.
It's a Thursday.
Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. You
Who
were
said
both
it's a
wrong.
Thursday? You said it's a Thursday.
All right.
Thursday's tomorrow.
Who wants to read for me?
I think
Caleb?
it feels like a Tuesday because
Thank
yesterday
you.
was game day.
Yeah.
So it
Why?
doesn't actually count as a day.
Practice makes perfect, Caleb.
Thanks,
Caleb,
Ashley.
come on.
I'll practice.
Two AP stat students got so fed up with opening a can of soda, only to get sprayed with some of the soda, so they decided to investigate if tapping on a can of soda would reduce the amount of soda expelled after the can has been changed. For the experiment, they rigorously shook 40 cans of soda and randomly assigned each can to be tapped for 0 seconds, 4 seconds, 8 seconds, or 12 seconds. Then, after opening the can and cleaning up the mess, the students measured the amount to sodium in milliliters. The data is shown below.
I'm so glad we skipped right over my typo. Thank you. I put amount to soda left. I don't know why I put a 2 in there. Amount of soda left. But you read it perfectly. You just fixed it for me. So, you guys are not going to throw food in my classroom. Brooke.
I don't know
No throwing food.
It was Maggie.
I told her to stop too. All right, so I'm going to help you enter this data in your calculator because it's a little odd. And then you're going to do the parts by yourself. So the weird part about this is that there were 40 soda cans. 10 of them were tapped for 0 seconds. So here's 0 seconds tapped, and there's the 10 cans and their results. Then the next 10 got tapped for 4 seconds, their results. 8 seconds of tapping those 10 cans, and 12 and their 10 cans. So when I put the time tapped in the calculator, I have to type 0 in there 10 times. Because 0 goes with 245, and 0 goes with 255, and 0 goes with 2. So we're going to go in, and we're going to...
Wait, can I delete my GPA list?
Well, I was just thinking about that myself. I mean, yeah, because it's such a short set of data that if you need to re-enter it, it's not going to be hard.
Are you going to need to re-enter it?
I can't remember. I know I come back to it quite often in this unit, so I left mine.
So,
But I can't remember if we
you're
use
just
it
gonna list 3 and 4.
or not. Yeah. And mine are going to be in list 4 and 5 because my 3's missing and I don't feel like fixing it right now. But so list 4 or whichever list you are putting it in, you're going to type in 0 10 times. Because 10 cans were tapped for 0 seconds and we need to have all those zeros in there. Then in the same list, type in 4 10 times. In the same list, type in 8 10 times. And then in that same list, type in 12 10 times.
Oh, no, no, we go over to the next one.
Now, when you put the information from the rest of the table in, make sure you go across. Those 10 numbers across from 0 all correspond with 0. Then drop down to the next one and go across. So you have to do these top 10 first because they go with the 0. Then drop down to the next row and type those 10 in.
Oh, what?
On a different list?
No, same list. I just know some kids go down. If you type them in by reading down, you're going to mess up all your data. You need to go across.
Oh, what are we doing?
Typing in those numbers, just go across rather than down
In
the
the same
columns.
list?
Yes, a list of 40.
Same list we just used?
No, a new list that doesn't have
That's what
the
time's at.
zeros,
That's what I
fours.
just asked
And
you.
you're saying no, saying the same list.
Yeah.
I'm
Tho-
with you.
So maybe
Okay.
listen better.
Nice.
This from the kid who doesn't listen well.
Even though I don't listen.
Okay. Maybe you should have phrased your question better, Mr. Listen Well.
Yeah, okay. So do I put the new numbers in a new list?
Animosity.
Yes.
Oh, I screwed it up. Yay.
So the 0s, the 4s, the 8s, and the 12s are in a list. Then
But you
move
just go
over
sideways?
and put this information in a list, reading it sideways. Yes.
What the hell?
You don't think he uses like a
What
microphone?
did I do wrong?
Like Siri?
Invent one, you'll be rich.
Would you buy it?
No, but I'd have the school buy it for me.
Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah.
Aha.
It's so satisfying when they're the same length, huh?
Yeah, it is. It does not happen.
I didn't think it was fun.
I didn't think it was.
Okay, why is it doing this shit?
What's wrong with
I quit.
Don't quit. You got this, Trey.
Winners don't quit.
I want to go home.
That was a bit harsh, Caleb.
Kevin Golf, shut up.
There's lots of untapped golf scholarships. It was actually a brilliant move on his part.
Pretty
Sure, you know for a fact that I cannot compete.
Still fun though.
Sure.
Nah.
All right. So
Well, we're not done.
Yeah, shut up.
once you have the data in there,
I screwed up.
we need to create a scatter plot and find our regression line. Do you guys remember the steps to make a scatter plot?
No.
We talked about it yesterday.
Oh, it's a long time ago.
Yes, you literally just graphed
I
it.
also forgot.
No,
Nope. Second y equals,
Because you need to get off your phone.
and then we go into the plot.
Second what? Wait, second what?
Y equals.
Second like.
Go into the one plot you want to turn on. I always use plot 1. We are using the dotty one. Sorry, it didn't sound weird when you said it, but then when I said it, it sounded really weird. The first one, my lists are lists 4 and 5 because I don't
You
have.
mentioned that.
Second y equals.
Do I have to do something?
Hit enter to get into plot 1. Make sure it's on. So on is highlighted.
Yeah.
Then
You
highlight
this?
that first one under type.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know what you used,
3 and
which
4.
list. So make X list list 3, second 3, and then make your Y list list 5. And I've been using
List
my
5.
list 4, sorry. I've been using my calculator for pre-calc. Okay, I just wanted to make sure my Y equals was empty. Yes, sir.
Does that depend on if you put the numbers in first and second list, or if you put it in like the list?
No. You just have to make sure that the calculator is using the correct list. So like I put mine in list 4 and 5. So I have to tell it those lists to
And then
use.
what do I do?
Hit graph.
Give me.
And it doesn't give you anything, so what do you press?
Zoom 9.
Zoom 9.
Let's move it.
Whoa,
It should look funny.
It's not correct.
Hit zoom 9.
Yeah, no. Like, I have this.
Doesn't look very funny to me.
Zooms top 7.
Oh, wait. I know why.
Well, bless you.
Got it.
I don't remember how to do this. Step.
List 4 is longer than list 3, so it's not happy.
Am I supposed to do something to even out this list right here?
I'm not one. These two are the 1 from the previous one.
Oh my
all
From
those
look at the group chat.
2:45 through the end, we're supposed to be in.
Oh Lord. Lord have
So I
mercy.
see that one too. So.
And it pops up, but this little line.
Wow.
As soon as it hits the top, this is there.
Why do I look so sad? Why are you grabbing your boob? Look at this one.
You have all that weird stuff in your white bolster from that.
There's so much going on.
Anybody else having calculator issues?
I'm graphing my list 1 and list 2. What do I graph list 3 and list 4?
Just change your X list to list 3.
I think I did that.
Hit second y equals. Go into your stop plot. See how it says list 1, list 2? You need
I
to change
changed
it
it.
to list 3 and list 4. Do you have a question? Okay.
I did.
All right. I give you guys permission not to make a sketch of this one on your paper. I always tell you when you make a graph on the calculator, you should sketch it on your paper, but we'll skip that one for today.
This is quite sus.
Find the regression line. How do we get the equation of our regression line? What are the buttons we press for that one?
I missed a 12.
Ooh.
Good question.
Stat. Go over to calc number 8. Thank you, Megan. Make sure it's got the correct list. No, it's
Varsity
not
8.
varsity 8.
Where did Varsity 8 go?
Yeah, you're done.
So my X list is list 4. And my Y list is list 5. So make sure it's got the correct X and Y list for you. And hopefully you guys get 248.63 for A and 2.6325 for
That's
B.
what I got.
So we go to varsity 8.
I got 6.4.
Me too.
Okay, it rounded for you.
Varsity 8.
Your calculator's
Maybe I did.
Wait, I do list 3 and list 4, right?
Yes. Did you get the same R squared and R as well?
Yes.
What'd you get, Miss Whittle?
It's up there.
248.64.
Yeah.
I got
So
it.
you're-
List 4.
So,
How will the actual
okay, well, I'll
get
put
delivered?
6.4 for you guys. I don't know why mine says.
Because it's wrong. You have a broken calculator.
No, it could be I mistyped something. I am human, you know.
So you went to 3 and then 8?
Oh man, I'm gonna run out of space. Alright, there's our regression line equation.
You did it.
You guys
How?
are gonna do the next 3 parts. Identify the slope and y-intercept. Explain what they mean in context. A sentence. Then, if you shook the can the same way and tapped on it for 10 seconds, what's the predicted amount of soda remaining? And should you use the regression line to predict how much soda will be left after 60 seconds of tapping? Explain. You guys are going to do those parts.
Where at?
Where at?
Oh, wait, no.
Yes. Let's fucking go.
Who's laughing over there?
Nobody's laughing.
I can hear it.
Phone, snap me back.
Look, there.
Where'd he go?
Where'd you go?
I don't think so.
I wish I had.
You just want to go to Wine Hut?
It's a plus.
Yeah.
Why not? It's actually so good.
Dude, it's
So
gonna
good.
destroy me.
It's so much better than no Orchids.
No, I think No Host is better than Hawaiian Hut.
Ew.
Yeah.
No,
No,
it's
no,
disgusting.
No Host is better. No Host
You're not allowed to go there, bro.
What? I don't get it.
That was not funny.
Yeah, I don't get it.
She's not allowed to go to no hose.
No hose.
No hose. You're such a dick, bro.
What?
No,
Jason's
do
calling
not
for
lie
help.
about that. You do not get to.
Oh.
Hey, Matt.
This little.
More math.
He just said I'm banned from no host.
Because
Or
she's
maybe
no.
he's just saying you have no
It says no
hose.
hose.
Aren't they spelled different?
It doesn't matter. It's the same thing.
Oh.
It was a funny.
It was a
He
funny.
got me
It was a
good.
funny.
Isn't that from home?
Like boob?
Yeah, boo.
I love the boobs.
I haven't seen it.
People may say I look like boob.
Yeah.
We tried to name Maggie's car the Boobmobile.
The boob movie?
Because it looks like a boob. Doesn't it?
No.
Isn't it black?
Looks like a bug.
No shit.
Oh my god, it looks like a beetle.
Mine's blown.
What's happening? Bro, what's happening over here?
My shoes hurt my feet because they're too fat.
Your feet are too fat?
Tell me about it.
Ties fashion.
I can't wear clothes.
Ty's got big old toes.
What? No, I don't.
Do you have long toes?
Ty, you got massive toes, bro.
I don't know my toes look like.
Because I've seen them.
It's been so long.
Have they changed?
I don't know.
Would your toes get smaller?
Maybe.
No.
That's gonna work real well for you.
Put AirPods.
Good, you should have had pods in your class.
I don't have AirPods in
Yeah.
No, you don't.
They actually.
No comprehend.
Yeah. No comprendo.
Cohen, finally. Oh my. We've been looking for you.
Cole, snap me back, please. Cole, do you want to go to Hawaiian Hut? Or after school?
You know what Margaret's making for tea?
Donuts?
I thought you have a job, bro.
All right. Allie's gonna come interpret the slope
No,
for
that
us.
was really mean.
I didn't say anything.
Yes, you did.
What did I say?
I didn't want to.
Where's your evidence?
Your dad's getting me right now.
Right?
I'm so bad at catching stuff.
Shut your mouth. I'll be doing that.
Which side's the right on?
Your throw is short, so.
Doesn't matter.
So are you.
But I did put the line because
You're
Megan's
like,
gonna
you're like a little like spiel.
although hers is short. Sure. I don't know.
Maggie, I apologize.
Why? To me?
I called you short.
Thank you.
Don't apologize.
Thank you for calling me average.
How do we get that equation?
This is like a cab
Stop.
Why are you guys just so
Oh my god. At least you're not able to trade.
Every day. Oh,
It's right there.
My knee's like.
Damn it.
Your equation. That's the y-intercept and that's the slope. A is y-intercept, B is slope.
Oh, good job, bro.
Or military, or anything that would be, no, my brother-in-law is. Anything that would be,
I just don't feel like.
no, my sister's husband.
so we're gonna go fishing?
Yes.
I think he said no.
You have an older brother.
I said, do you mind if we come out tomorrow? And he goes, yes, sir.
Nothing.
Does that mean he minds? or
I
does
don't
that
know.
mean he's scared?
I don't know.
So you're the most successful?
All right.
So they actually do nothing?
Yeah.
Who
Or
doesn't?
do they do something that we can't know?
All right.
Did
So
she say-
Allie interpreted the slope. She put as seconds increase by 1, we would expect the amount of soda remaining to increase by 2.635 milliliters. Megan's gonna come do the y-intercept for us.
Go, Megan.
I didn't even answer it.
The middle one.
The middle one.
The numbers. The math. Because I saw it.
Shut up, Caleb.
I do have good eyesight. I'm not old
I
yet.
didn't answer the
Yet.
You're gonna do the bottom one.
Page 109.
I just suck at
Thank you.
retro.
I don't know what part that is.
What? How you doing, dude? That's good.
AKA help.
So confused.
Help me.
Well, then why did you say your word?
Dude.
You should have been
You said
saying.
dude.
Did I what?
You're welcome.
Is it animal?
All right, so Megan interpreted
Oh yeah.
stutters when it comes out. She said the y-intercept, if the can is not tapped at all, there will be 248.64 milliliters left. Nashley's, if there's no tapping on the can, 0
Okay.
seconds, 0.
Write it in pen.
Okay.
Ashley's gonna do the middle one.
You said the greatest one. Is this one the one where you do the
It would be what? 248.647?
Why did I take this class again?
Because you have to.
on the transcript, bro.
Okay, well I could freaking do regular stats and
Or you could not take a math class.
There is no regular stats.
Yeah, there is, Ty.
I'm almost done.
Bro.
Is there?
Keep getting
It's just,
around.
yeah, it's really probability statistics.
Hey, Miss Little,
I know, but not
What?
where it
is
is.
there a regular stats class?
Not this year.
Yeah, see?
What?
Yeah.
Why is there an
yeah,
AP?
exactly.
What's probability and statistics then?
The state of Oregon has changed their
State of Oregon is stupid.
idea about what is a good math education, and you no longer take a full year of geometry. You take half a year of geometry and half a year of probability and statistics.
What?
The regular statistics class that I taught last year is aligned to RCC, and as hard as I pushed for them to let me teach again this year, they said there was not enough interest, and therefore they would not let me teach it. So,
How did they know that I wasn't interested in it?
that's just their BS way of saying that's too many preps for you, because it would have given me one prep, and then they would have had to give me an extra period off. So, Dia's going to come do the bottom one for us while I get really angry at Trey.
That kind of hurts.
Why do you flinch? Is everything okay with someone?
Sit down, Trey.
Maggie, did you fill out your paper?
For senior night?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, good. Me neither.
No, I'm gonna do it when I get home.
So is Wednesday like a college day or something? Because I've
Yes.
seen every teacher wear.
Trey, we talked about this so many times.
I'm pretty sure he was either in Arizona or Florida.
No.
when we
Yeah.
talked
Just-
about it.
You don't say that, Miss Fiddles. You don't say that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. Listen better, Trey.
Listen here. I've never
You
once talked
couldn't
about that.
hear from another state?
What?
Why couldn't you hear from another state? It's pathetic.
Yeah,
Shut up.
turn up your hearing aids. Thanks, Trey.
She's having a horrible meltdown.
All right, so Dia said no because the prediction putting 60 seconds in for X is way outside our interval
Just go violated.
of
No
the
way.
explanatory
I'm gonna
variable.
pet her dogs.
You used your toes.
He like
That is
squeezed
cool.
I
them.
wanted to see
He
how
like
tough
rubbed.
your boots were.
He literally rubbed my dogs.
No, I didn't. I wanted to see how tough your boots were.
All right,
Oh my god.
any questions about math? Math.
Touch my
Oh my god.
Cozy.
No?
This isn't right. Your dog's honestly.
Are we done?
There is an exit pass.
I do.
We have about 10-ish minutes left.
My phone will be fine. Your phone will not.
Ow.